Welcome back everyone to another episode of Ask Soap Anything. In today's episode, we're going to be covering quite a few topics because today is going to be a grab bag episode. All of these questions are coming from Joker because he asked a lot, as I've mentioned previously, and not all of these fit into a particular topic or subject, but I think they'll do well to fill up one episode with all of these questions. Now, if you want to get your questions answered on here, all you have to do is here on the YouTube comments, over on Twitter, or in Discord, use the hashtag AskSoap and ask your question. So, I'm not going to read off all of these first, we're just going to go down the list. The gameplay that you're seeing is two different games, Slay the Spire and Ruiner. Why did I pick these games? Because I have them, I think they're fun, and I think it goes along well with the whole grab bag mentality of this episode. Without further ado, let's get to the questions. Which books is/are your favorite that are not the Divine Comedy? I think that's what you said the last few Ask Soap. Well, Divine Comedy probably is my favorite book. Outside of that, I'm a big fan of the author Chuck Palahniuk, who did Fight Club, Haunted, Invisible Monsters, Choke, and tons and tons of other stuff. I love his stuff. Outside of that, book-wise, House of Leaves is really good. Raw Shark Texts is another really good one. There are comic books as well. I'm a huge Batman fan, as I've stated before. Specifically things like Hush, Killing Joke, Arkham Asylum, Dark Knight Returns. You know, there's just a bunch of those. Other than that, some other really good comics that I can recommend. Watchmen, of course, that's a classic. Why the Last Man is another really good one. The Walking Dead series, even though I haven't caught up to where it is now, at least in book form, or if it's finished, I honestly don't know. The bulk of it that I have read is also really good. Daredevil, Man Without Fear is amazing. Preacher series is really good. 100 Bullets, also really good. Gotta throw in some Chew, some Hellboy as well. That's just to name some that are actually sitting right here next to me. I do like my comics and I like my regular books as well. If you could live in any time period, which would it be? So there's a lot of different time periods that I think would be interesting to live in, but realistically speaking, I would prefer to be born in the 50s, kind of grow up through the 60s and be an adult in the 70s. I think that is an extremely interesting time in America, in the world actually. Music is a big driving factor of that culture, cultural changes and shifts, things of that nature. Just a lot of things going on that I, like and that I enjoy. I wish I could kind of be there on the ground floor and things of that nature, just see it from the beginning, from its roots. I would love to see that time and live during that time. Do you use 4chan? I do not. I have used it, but no, I don't currently use it. I haven't been there in quite some time. A long time ago, like back in like 2006, 7. I used to go there every once in a while, just for lols. I'm not one of those people, who is this 4chan? But no, do I currently use it? No, I am a Reddit user, which leads me to my favorite subreddit. I don't have a favorite subreddit. I have a bunch that I love going to. Dad jokes, I think that's great. I love it. Aw is really good. I like seeing cute animals. There's the games subreddit talking about video games. I'm a big fan of Funhouse, so seeing the stuff on their subreddit's fun. I watch my wrestling, so Squared Circle is another one that I go to. But the one that I frequently visit the most is Game Deals. By far my most frequently visited subreddit. I like going on there, seeing if there's some good deals on the video games, learning about different sites and services that sell games, things like that. Anything that, oh, I've been curious about that game. Hey, it's on sale, it's a good price, or it's a historical low, or something like that. In turn with that, there's a good subreddit that's recommended off of that called Patient Gamers, where it's people who don't play games as soon as they come out. They wait weeks, months, years even, after the fact and go through and play it and kind of give their impressions of it. I think that's also a really good one. There's so many that I think are like just great, like Bone Apple Tea. I mean, there's so many. There's a subreddit for everything. How's Draco? He's really good. In fact, we just got back in from going outside just a little bit ago. Took him out for a walk for his doggy business. He's currently laying out in the hallway, just being lazy. And yeah, he's cute, he's furry, he's lazy, he's doing quite well. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? Preferably, it would be Pacific Northwest, like Washington or Oregon. Colorado is another one that I would like to live, that the lovely Jenna and I have discussed, you know, moving there at some point. That's kind of our collective dream, and we each wanted to live in those places before we even met each other, so it works out quite nicely. I love the weather, I love the whole just atmosphere and vibe of the place in those areas. I haven't been to Colorado, but I have been to Oregon and I have been to Washington, and everything that I hear about Colorado is awesome, and everything that I've experienced in Washington and Oregon has also been awesome, and I would definitely love to live there. Do you watch anime? If so, what is your favorite? Do I watch anime? Occasionally. Like, I'll scroll through Netflix and be like, oh, Death Note, or something like that. As far as like on a frequent basis, no, I've never really done that. What's my favorite? I would probably say the one that's had the most kind of like lasting impact as far as, wow, that was way better than I thought it would be, and I still occasionally like think about going back rewatching, is Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, it was one of those I thought, this is gonna be some dumb kids anime thing, and then I watched it and I was like, whoa, that was really good. Outside of that, Hellsing was kind of my introduction into like an anime series. Akira was the first anime anything I ever watched or knew about, and that's a movie, of course. There's Death Note, Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Blood the Last Vampire. There's, you know, some others that it's just hard. It's not really coming to my mind right now because it's been so long since I've actually like sat and watched and tried to get into anything. I'm definitely up for some recommendations. I know people have made me recommendations before, like on Discord and on YouTube comments. They've been like, oh, you should watch this, watch this. It's just when it comes to anime, I am extremely picky because there's so many things in a lot of animes that annoy me. Like whether it be the type of art style, the animation in some cases, certain characters like Vampire Hunter D, and there's the police lady that's in it. She is stupid annoying, and if she was just cut out of that whole thing, it would have made it even better. But yeah, there's this certain quirks about certain, like the style, the animation itself, or even certain characters that will just completely turn me off. And, you know, if like I don't just get hooked right away. Oh, One Punch Man. That's the most recent one I started watching, and I thought that was really good. Random, I know that I just now mentioned that, but it just popped into my head. But yeah, that's the most recent one that I've watched some of and really enjoyed. But back to what I was saying, there's a certain things that will just turn me off instantly, and if it doesn't hook me right away, I have a hard time keeping up with it. What was/were your favorite subject or subjects in school? When I was in school, honestly, my absolute most favorite subject was art. I did take art classes, but if you want to get down to something that's a bit more in the like essentials, English was one of my favorite subjects. Science, I despised anything math related like algebra, trigonometry, calculus. I despised those classes. Even though I'm a fan of history now, I really didn't like history classes then because they were really boring, but the reason I like history now is because of Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, because I learned, oh, there's a way you can present this information in a great way that's just enthralling and entertaining, and you just want to learn more. But in school, art's absolutely my favorite subject. What do you think is wrong but sounds right? This one, whenever I first saw it, I couldn't really come up with an answer, so I've kind of taken something that I think is wrong, but I know it's correct. The word funner. I've never been a fan of that word. I hear it, it just like kind of makes my brain twitch. Like that's not a word. It is a word, but it just doesn't sound right. Like it just falls on my ears in a way I'm like, ugh. Like Christian Bale in Equilibrium How does that make you feel? And he kind of does that little robot twitch thing. That particular word, I'm like, that can't be a word. That just sounds like an incorrect word. Someone made that up. It's wrong. All of you are wrong. Ha! Do aliens exist? Well, this branches into a wide discussion, or it could, I should say, but we'll break it down into some different things. So do aliens, in the way of like what modern TV and cinema portray them as, little gray or green men with big heads and large eyes, do they exist? I don't want to say no, because we obviously don't know what else is out there in the universe or even the multiverse, but so far I doubt that if there is life out there that it's going to be exactly that. Now, do I think that there's other life out there other than what we know here on Earth? Do I think there is? Yes. Do I know there is? No, because nobody knows currently. But the probability, the statistics would tell you that there's a likelihood that there is something else out there, whether it's on a, molecular, cellular kind of level, or if it's evolved and it's more intelligent, such as we are. That's a whole other story. But do I think there's something out there? Yes. Do I know what it is? Not a clue. Will we get another Dark Souls Let's Play, no matter which one? I honestly don't know. Granted, I never really completed the original Dark Souls Let's Play, because I got to a point where I was like, it's just too frustrating and I'm going to have to do too much grinding and da-da-da. I eventually went back and beat the first Dark Souls, finally. It was the first Souls game I ever beat. I finally did it, and whew, that was just like, I currently have Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. I bought them all on Steam, just because after beating that, I was like, okay, I want to play 2 and 3, but they're such an undertaking, and not in a bad way. It's just like I gotta really get in that mindset to play Dark Souls and all of that, and figure out the nuances and all the little things and all that. So, will we get another one? Most likely not, but I can't ever say no, so we'll see. And our final question. Weapon of choice. One modern and one ancient/medieval. I was actually running this one by Jenna, and she's like, well, you're going to say a sniper rifle. And, as far as more modern, yeah, I think a weapon that would suit me the most is a good kind of sniper rifle. Now, which one? I don't know. I don't know that much about weaponry, to be perfectly honest, but something that, if I needed to use it and it was more suited to me, I'd like to be sneaky and covert, and I'm way off in the distance. You don't even know I'm here. You get hit before the sound even hits the ears, that kind of thing. That's more me modern. Ancient medieval, I mean, it's just classic. Go with a katana. Katana's great. Katana's a great weapon. I think it's cool. I always have. And that's gonna do it for this grab bag episode. Again, you want to ask your questions, use the hashtag AskSoap here in the YouTube comments, on Twitter, or on Discord. But before we go, as always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. I'll see you guys later.